Stop listening to the headlines or the internet trolls blaming Chinese migrants for high property prices. They aren't throwing money around blindly. It's about generational wealth. Their decisions simply follow the pattern of their cultural and social background. Forget the bank reports. Today, I'm breaking down the Chinese property map of Melbourne. Whether you are Chinese or not, this logic is the shortcut for your next move. In Chinese culture, education isn't an expense. It's a non-negotiable investment. That's why Balwyn and Kew aren't just suburbs, they're global brands. When you fight for a spot in the Balwyn High Zone, you are buying a guarantee. A guarantee that your kids are surrounded by the most competitive peers in the state. In Balwyn, long-term stability is the currency. If you are not talking 8 scores at dinner, you are in the wrong postcode. Then there's Kew, private school royalty. It has the highest density of elite schools in Australia. But it's not that kind of typical Chinese suburb. You won't find a grocery store on every corner. For families chasing their own money network, Kew is the final stop. You're buying your kids a stake in the future. Entry fee, Balwyn's median is 2.87 million. Kew starts slightly lower at 2.62 million. But don't misunderstand this. In Kew, 2.6 million is just the base camp. Once you move into those back streets, you are playing in a whole different league. Let's talk about the unspoken side of the map, the parents. If you have parents moving from Chinese-speaking world to Melbourne, Box Hill isn't just a suburb, it's a little Hong Kong. It's a piece of home that makes the new world feel a little less strange. I always say Box Hill makes the landing so much easier. The real value here isn't just language, it's possibility for independence. It's one of the few places where an elderly Chinese migrant can live a full life, like banking, doctor, groceries, all within walking distance, without even needing a car or their son or daughter to be their translator. Here's a hidden detail. Have you ever noticed that there's no loud pubs in the heart of Box Hill? That's a legacy of its history as a dry zone. For many families, that lack of nightlife noise is exactly what makes it a sanctuary. Non-Chinese buyers are realizing this too. Quiet street and having everything at your doorstep, no matter where you're from, that's what everyone wants. If Box Hill is the engine, Doncaster is the high ground. It's for families who want massive houses with views, but still want to be 5 minutes away from a decent bowl of noodles at 9 p.m. And then you have Waverley, center of the universe. It's an all-rounder. Elite schools, retail hub, and a predictable sense of order. Doncaster currently is around 1.54 million. Glen Waverley, you're looking at 1.76 million as the baseline of entry. The median is 1.68 million, but in Box Hill, you are buying future density. If your block is over 600 square meters, there's really potential to subdivide into multiple townhouses. It all comes down to the zoning. I'll explain how that works in another video soon. We can't ignore the younger generation. Clayton serves as the hub of international student life. You will see world-class libraries, new infrastructure, and incredible street food, all in the same block. It's where students study until sunset, then line up for hot pot at midnight. You can't overlook the yield numbers here. With decent rental income and a steady stream of tenants, you aren't just buying a house, you're buying a cash flow machine. But South Yarra? Most people just think of cool cafes, great restaurants, and that polished vibe. But if you walk down to Rewrote at 3:30 p.m., you'll see the students from Melbourne High School. If you look at those iconic uniforms, 9 out of 10 are East Asian or Daisy faces. Getting your son into this selective school is like winning the lottery. I have friends who are already planning a move to South Yarra, just so their son can walk to school. Of course, if he passes that entry exam. In South Yarra, you are buying into Melbourne's most sophisticated inner city pocket. In Clayton, the median is around 1.36 million. But South Yarra, we all know that's a whole different conversation. The median is over 2 million, but let's be real. For a family home that actually fits the lifestyle, you won't find much under 3 million. But not everyone wants to squeeze into the East. For many, the real opportunity is about getting your foot in the door. That brings us to the success story of the West, Point Cook. This is a textbook example of how migrants can literally drag a suburb to level up. Going back 12 to 13 years, people looked down on the West. It was just white land and construction. But today, Point Cook has completely transformed. It was built by the new middle class, East Asian, Daisy, and young Aussie professionals. They weren't just buying houses, they were betting on the master plan. Because back then, the East was already too expensive. And the government's vision for West looked solid. The good thing is, miracles do happen. Government actually delivered on some of those promises over the last decade. And look at this commercial energy. It's not about coast or lease anymore. They've been here for years. The real shift started around 6 to 7 years ago. But in the last 2, it's gone into overdrive. We are seeing a wave of authentic Chinese restaurants and trendy boutique ice cream shops popping up right next to the playgrounds and that warehouse-scale Asian supermarket. I definitely call it the biggest and the best stocked in all of Melbourne. Point Cook is no longer just a faraway suburb. You can find almost everything you need within a 10-minute drive. The median here is around 800k, but it might surprise you that Point Cook has waterfront mansions and incredible facilities. Fancy gyms, pools, soccer fields, tennis courts, and even golf courses. That's why the high-end market here was smashing the $1 million mark years ago. And with the Westgate Tunnel now open, the commuting nightmare is hopefully a thing of the past. Point Cook is the proof. When you have a population of go-getters, they don't just move in. They update the neighborhood's DNA. At the end of the day, the Chinese property map isn't what the internet trolls make it out to be. It's about chasing scarcity. These suburbs stay stable because they are by the most powerful forces in the world: parental love and social ambition. When you buy here, you are banking on a community that will never let their schools or their streets decline. You're paying for the flawless look of the street and neighbors who would prioritize their kids' future. It's an environment where everyone has the same high stakes. In property, that shared commitment is your real safety net. Which path fits your life stage? The leafy east or the chill west? Please let me know in the comments. There's no right or wrong, just different chapters of life. Next week, we are deconstructing the Indian property wave in Melbourne. It's not about just big families staying together or the obsession with brand new homes. It's about how this wave is flipping the script in the West and the North. We're going to look at how this massive buying power is pushing up premiums and completely rewriting the price growth for the rest of us. I'm April. This is April Talks Aussie. Subscribe if you are looking for deep lens on Melbourne's map to understand the people and the silent forces rewriting these streets. Stick around for the bloopers, and I'll see you in the next one. And with the guest nightmare, commuting nightmare. Follow me for the next video.